So, I need a knife for dealing with citrus. And this is, I think, all my knives. I was thinking I can use YouTube is telling me that I'm live on my channel. I can use the Grumman number 4. It's a great shape for food prep, as you guys know. I've said that on several occasions. I don't know why I started this while going through the knives, but maybe I just want to show off. There we go. There's my Feldkniven F1. Ugly as crap, but I do love it. So, and it's this was, I believe, my second convex grind. Learning to sharpen convex was quite the. It's not that hard. It's not Scandi easy, but it's not that hard. Here's Camille's knife that I made for her. You guys who are OGs on my bushcraft channel will remember me handling that for her. I'm still sad that Saku Honkilatu, who made that blade for me, he died in a motorcycle accident. You guys have seen the Victorinox, Markniv. This one is actually a workshop, like a chisel knife. What do I want to use? Another Markniv, another Markniv. This is my Russell number 1. This is my god-awful Gerber. Well, I was gonna go for maybe my Cold Steel Canadian belt knife. Little stainless wonder. Don't have to worry about it getting all rusty, but this is my food prep knife. This is the mini Nesmuk I told you guys about. Some of you have seen it before. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna have to wash it up right after because that will definitely rustificate. Oh, I forgot about that Garber. Okay, so I have the knife for the citrus. What do I want to do tonight? I'll tell you. I want to make a couple of drinks. I want to try out a couple of Christmassy things because I am bartending a cousin's party tomorrow. All cousins, no parents, no children. So I want to bring a drink. I've come up with something, but I do feel I need to test it first. Let's see, who's kicking with us? We got, excuse me, nice to see you. We got Mr. Weblord, how are you doing? We got Destiny, of course. There's Russell. How are you guys doing? Yes, so I've got a few things here, and if Paul joins us, I'm gonna make that smoked Scotch, that peated Scotch Negroni he was telling me about. But if he doesn't join us, I won't do it now. I wanted to start with that though. It's okay. Let me show you what I'm playing with, okay? It's a riff. My wife found online like a limoncello spritz. And I tried it. 2 ounces of limoncello, 2 ounces of pomegranate juice, excuse me, an ounce of club soda, and then 3 ounces of Prosecco in a wine glass with ice. Nah. So, what I'm thinking is, oh, I didn't write that part down. I did a little sort of back of the envelope thing about it. I sort of messed around with it a little bit. Oh yeah, here it is. So, 2.5 limoncello, 2.5 pomegranate juice, 3 ounces of Prosecco, no club soda, and then 1 dash of orange bitters. I forgot to get a wine glass. I'll just get a wine glass, and then I'll take a look As I said, this was an idea that my wife passed me, and I've made a few changes to make it, I hope, more palatable. Palatable. Getting ice from the terrible fridge. Now, I don't want to fill it all the way up. I know that like a spritz recipe usually calls for it to be filled all the way up, but I like there to be a little room for the liquid so that I can put more liquid. Hey, Christy's here. How you doing? Peter Scotch Negroni for the win. Yes, I'm definitely going to try that if Paul joins us. It's really hard for me to see the comments on this tiny little screen. Hey, David the Instigator's here. How you doing? Doesn't everybody have a knife box, he asks. Christy says nope. Yeah, well, you got to get a knife box. So, 1 wine glass full of ice. And then we're going to do 2.5 ounces each of limoncello and pomegranate juice, but I do think this would do better with cranberry juice. So I bought some cranberry juice. Unsweetened, 100% cranberry juice. I'm going to try it with the pomegranate first. Give that original idea a second chance. See if it's a little less boring. I think that removing the tonic, not the tonic, the soda club, oh for God's sakes, the club soda, and upping the pomegranate and the limoncello is going to help. I could probably put the tea off screen. Cleaning the palate with a little tea, putting it off screen. Starting off with the pomegranate juice. Why? Because it's less expensive than the limoncello. Hey, we got 13 people watching. Who's with us? Sound off. Yeah, I was just talking with Paul yesterday, I believe. And then I kind of disappeared on him because we'll talk about that in a minute. I'll talk about that in a minute because there's a reason why I will talk about that. It has to do with like safety first. Half ounce. So that's 2.5. I think it's like a spritz has a lot more liquid in it than many of the cocktails that I would make in like a rocks glass or a coupe, and definitely more than would go in a Nick and Nor, right? Nick and Nor's 3 ounces, go max. Okay, so that was 2.5 ounces of the pomegranate. I will do 2.5 of the limoncello. This is my first bottle of limoncello ever. Okay, that's a full ounce, so I'll just do that twice and then a half after that because I was too busy talking to you guys. And I'm very happy with it. So I think I told you guys the reason I want to get a sous vide, which I won't, but I'd like to, is because you can make limoncello in a matter of hours instead of weeks if you use a sous vide. Look, it's a lot of money to throw at something just because I want to try something, and there's no room in this kitchen for that. But if I have a friend nearby who's got a sous vide, I might like borrow it for a weekend just to try, you know what I'm saying? Ian the Wibbler says, need a knife box. You got one somewhere that you need a knife box, man. There's Marcus, how you doing? What the heck is a sous vide? It's something that I will admit I feel is kind of gadget value rather than, maybe that's not fair. And I said I was putting in 1 dash of orange bitters, right? And then I'm doing 3 ounces of Prosecco. 1 dash of orange bitters because it's Christmas. You need to have some citrus in your snackage. Prosecco, this Prosecco is not cold, I'm afraid to say. North York, CDDI, prepping for girls' night. So am I going to measure out 3 ounces or am I just going to top? I'm just going to top. You don't measure out your damn Prosecco. Let it hit the top like that. And then it will calm down to pretty much where you want to be. It's not working. Now, I guess what I should have done before adding the Prosecco was just giving it a bit of a very light stir. Why before the Prosecco? Because anything bubbly, if you go whap 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 too hard, you decarbonate it completely. Okay, so let's give this a try. So if this works, I've got a name for it. That's a lot better. I think the missus is downstairs. Just give me a second, I'm gonna go and have her try it. I'll be right back. I might still try that with the cranberry juice. Just not quite yet. That's a lot better though. Much better. But North York, yeah, it's not. It kind of is. I'm going to a cousin's party, and there's only 2 of us in the cousins who are male. That is a good Christmas brunch choice, I think. You know, sometimes you'll do like mimosas or something. This is a good option in that kind of vein. I'm not finishing it though. Yeah, I know, the Prosecco's not chilled. I know. I have another one here that I'll put in the fridge, actually. Let's see how it goes. If we're doing all right, I will try the hold on. Madame wants to pass, so I will hide the camera. Christy's saying freeze some cranberry juice, cranberries, and rosemary into ice cubes and place in the glass. Definitely rosemary is an excellent garnish for this season, for sure. Or like pomegranates. What are they called? Areoles. You know, the little pomegranate seeds. Those would be a good too. Whoops. Maybe some frozen cranberries. I think the cranberries would float, which would make them a really good option as well, for sure. Just give this a little rinse here. Big City. Is that Victoria City? I'll be right back, people. Down. Be right back, folks. The madame is leaving town for a day or 2, so I'm just helping her to prep. Whoops. Right back. Okay, where were we? So I had finished. So yeah, Victoria City, Framo Lab. Haven't been there in a long time. Yes. Well, okay. So she's driving to her sister's place, and then they're leaving for NYC at about 4. She was too tired to taste it though. I'm not finishing this. Okay, so I have something here. I think with these Christmas drinks is that they're all a little bit like that. They're all a little festive, a little fruity, a little, you know. I have something here called the Grinch. 2 ounces of rum, an ounce of lime juice, 2 ounces of Midori. Do I have any down here? Because if it's upstairs, forget it. I'm not leaving the screen for that long. Yeah, I don't think my Midori is down here. So forget about it. You guys think we should just I called it the lemon bomb. Jimson Dak said hi. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Christy, yeah, I'm calling it the lemon bomb. Lemon bomb. Jesse, you printed them out? Yeah, I know. It's because I was just finding stuff online, print them out easily. Anything I kind of like, I'll put into the notebook. Anything I don't kind of like, I won't. Okay. Just taking a look. You know what? Let's try that. Let's try that peated Scotch Negroni. I think I wanna give it a try. I wish Paul was here. How did you counteract the sweetness from the limoncello? I kind of didn't. It's a very sweet kind of festive-y drink. The prosecco dries it out for sure. Like between the limoncello and the pomegranate juice, if I didn't have the prosecco in there, that would be way too sweet. You know what though? With cranberry juice, it would make it even drier. Let's try it. Let's try it. I mean, I'm not going anywhere tonight. Because, yeah, let's see. Oh, I need another wine glass. For me, spritzes and stuff like that, it's not really my comfort zone, you know? You guys who are OGs know that like what I like is an old-fashioned, a Negroni. Okay, I do love a whiskey sour. But like it's stuff like that. It's much more basic. A couple of ingredients. You mix them up. Nothing too flowery, nothing too fruity, nothing too sweet. I'm kind of tiki averse. Do I have to shake this? 100% cranberry juice. Like that's the only thing in the ingredients. Okay? So this I don't think is going to be very sweet. Let me give it a little tasty McTaste. That's cranberry juice, all right. That ain't no cranberry cocktail. That is Whew, it's arid in there all of a sudden. It's lemon balm, more like lemon granite. It's actually pretty funny. Russell says, how do you counteract the sweetness? Oh, my voice with my salty ass personality. Okay, let me put some ice in here. Come on, fool. Thank you. No, seriously, come on. The hateful fridge. The fridge of hatefulness. We hate you, fridge. Come on, fool. What the hell's up with you? The ice maker was off. Which is going to make the rest of this live stream kind of awkward. 1, 2, and a half. That is tart, man. Woo! So this is undiluted, right? The on the side here it gives a recipe of like to dilute it if you're just going to drink some to 1 part of this to 3 parts water. So I mean, when I say this ain't diluted, I mean they crush the cranberries, throw it into a bottle, and let you kind of figure it out on your own. Which sometimes mean like, woof. Okay. Now, 2 ounces of the limoncello. Why not spill it everywhere? I mean, hey, we're at home. It's our own kitchen. I'm being a little more ginger with this one because I'm only going to the half. Oh my god, I wasted so much booze. I didn't know. It's like not even a teaspoon. I'm gonna rinse off my hands though. For those of you who are not in the know. This is clearly a salmon. Also, for those of you who are not necessarily in the know, I think I said this on one of my lives, so my all-time be-all, end-all favorite art style is specifically Haida West Coast art. Stevenson, Bill Reed. I was going somewhere and it's gone. I just totally glitched. I was going somewhere and it's gone. Anyway, I'll give this a wee mixy McMix. A little Prosecco. And I'm not overly fond of bubbly either, right? Like, I'm not a big champagne guy. I mean, I get, let's mark the occasion with bubbly, blah, 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 but it's not one of my favorite, it's not one of my favorite boozes at all. That's not even a booze. So, same thing, cranberry juice, unsweetened cranberry juice. It's not better. It's definitely less sweet, but the problem with this one now is the Prosecco comes out to the fore too much. Like that, the other one sort of calms the Prosecco down a little bit, sweetens it all up. This, no. And the limoncello just disappears. Forget you. Forget you. So no. A little bit of tea to cleanse the palate. Rinse off my mixing spoon, my bar spoon. Oh, is Paul here? Did I see Paul's name? Paul, hi. Okay, so yeah, if you're here, we're gonna do that peated Scotch Negroni. Did I? What I have here, Paul, and tell me if I'm wrong, an ounce of Campari, an ounce of green chartreuse, and an ounce of peated Scotch, right? Three. It's in equal parts, right? I just can't that out of my head. The booze down the drain. Oh, Marcus doesn't like it when I pour him down. Look, I don't want to get sauce, so yeah, unless it's something that I really like, you know. The peated Scotch Negroni will not go down the drain because the Scotch is irreplaceable. So even if I don't love it, I'm gonna drink the whole thing. That booze could at least be donated to homeless people. Just put it in the fridge, drop it in their hats tomorrow. Yuck. Bill Reed was an amazing artist, but Jess, you're allergic to salmon. I know. But the wife loves salmon, and she was in Vancouver recently, like last week. So she brought him home. To me, I would have preferred an orca or a raven, but you know. But I'm not breaking it in half, so I guess we're good. Yeah, equal parts of all three. All right, let's do it. I'm wondering if my rocks glass is too big. I'm doing it anyway. Okay, 1, 1, and 1. Campari, Campara. My hands are wet, so it's hard to. Just goes to show you when was the last time I did a Campari drink. Holy schnitzel. When was the last time I did a Campari drink? I mean, Campari to other drinks. I didn't even finish that because it was so terrible. What the funky McKickern is? Oh, okay. I just had to use my other hand, evidently. This is a frosted glass. This is an ounce of Campari. Again, why am I starting with the Campari? People? I've got another ounce in there. So, do I have any chartreuse? No, because practically nobody does. But this is a local chartreuse analog. This is Calendula by, what the hell are they called? What the hell are they called? Distillerie de Montréal. Okay. Okay. Distillerie de Montréal. It's not exactly the same. Nothing is exactly what chartreuse is, but it's not a bad analog. It's because it's impossible to do an exact reverse engineering of chartreuse because at any given time, oh, it's so painful. Only 2 monks actually know, two living monks at the same time know the recipe. For my peated scotch, Barrel at Sea of the Scotch Malt Whisky Society. I don't remember which distillery is number 53. It's probably Kalila. I wish you guys could smell this. It is maritime, salty, smoky, peaty. In fact, an old puffer receiving a Viking burial in the Sound of Jura. As the petrol tank ignites, the gathered crowd eats herring from their wellies. That's why I almost feel that this is like a Leipzig, because Leipzig does have that sort of burning tire element to it. I mean, it's better than it sounds. Oh, I'm just spilling an irreplaceable bottle of scotch. Jesus. And even if I could replace it, right now that bottle would be $350. So I'm like, nope. We ain't spending that kind of money. We ain't got that kind of money to spend. Uh-oh, I'm down to my last two of my big clear. What the hell? Look at all that snow. Jesse ain't been taking care of his ice cubes. I should have been letting this ice cube temper while I was making the drink. I'm not at my best tonight, people. However, I'm better than I was yesterday. So I've got this Band-Aid on. I'm going to tell you about this, not to TMI or anything, but because there's a public service announcement as part of this. While I was making supper last night, I was using a mandolin. Do you guys know what a mandolin is, right? It's like a blade. You take your potatoes or whatever and you across to make them real thin. And if you're not careful, you do what I did. And what I did was I removed part of my pinky and was immediately red from there to there and down there and across here and across here and all over my bathroom. And I was home alone with the squeak. I didn't see anything about a garnish, Paul. My kids were fabulous. The squeak immediately ran and got one of her little frozen Band-Aids and tried to, but I was like, while we were dealing with this, Camille came in from school, dropped her bag, saw what was going on, and jumped into action. The thing that kept me from the emergency, and I was done. I could not stand straight by the time we got this dealt with. I couldn't stand. I had to go to bed. The thing that kept me from a trip to Emerge and like sitting there for 9 hours was in one of my first aid kits, I had a clotting sponge, right? A coagulating sponge. And I was like, Camille, I know what we need. Downstairs, bushcraft stuff, blue trauma kit. And we put it on and we pressed it and then we wrapped it with gauze and wrapped it with tape and like, right? And that stopped it. I mean, it was still like oozing a little bit, but that sort of stopped it in the emergency sense. Today I tried to work and I just couldn't. I was just too like, and I kept hurting myself on the thing. Yeah, so this morning I got up and I took that off, but of course it had stuck. I was bleeding again, but I finally got it to stop bleeding around 4 today, I guess. I mean, it wasn't, but it was oozing and stuff, and it's okay now. But we've talked about first aid kits before. Those of us who are on my bushcraft channel, we've talked about first aid kits before, about how important a trauma kit is when you're out bushcrafting. But if you have a kitchen, get yourself some damn coagulating powder, okay? Because it literally saved me from I mean, and me, 14-year-old, 6-year-old, who's driving to the hospital, right? If we call 911, then I'm on the hook. What is it? $150 for an ambulance. Okay, let's give this a taste. Paul, I'm looking forward to this. Hell yeah. It's none of the flavors of a Negroni, but when you put them together, it's a convincing Negroni. Different, absolutely. It's not exactly, obviously, but it's got that character. That's good. If you like peated scotch, it's amazing. That's a fabulous peated scotch right there. That was one where I opened the bottle, took a sip, and immediately ordered another bottle. The other one's finished though. Let me just circle back a little bit. Just start going. I'm just sort of skipping back. Yes, that's the recipe said. Yeah, equal parts. Yeah, Paul. I guess you've had this as well, so I mean, you know what I'm talking about. The Scotch plays an important role though, because I'm definitely that's recognizably that Scotch. But that was an excellent choice. I have a electric downstairs that my holiday malt for this year is a electric from Single Malts of Scotland, which I opened with my fiddler last night on a FaceTime because he had the exact same bottle. I'm going to try to do an episode on that soon. How do you get an orca whale in your suitcase? Yuck, you cut into tiny pieces? Blech. Russell saw Ray's cabs flying north to solve the water crisis. I don't even know what that means. Fitzy, I called you Fitzy. Change your name. It's called calendula, but it's a herbal liqueur, same as chartreuse is. It's not going to tell me what the herbs are because these things are all like totally proprietary. But alcohol, cane syrup, mint, balsam fir, elderflower, sweet clover, wintergreen, sweet gale, blackcurrant wood, angelica, lemon balm, plum tree, pineapple weed, valerian, hyssop, fennel, sumac, and other vegetable substances. Okay, so they actually do tell us a lot of what's in here. It's a very good stand-in for chartreuse in a great many things. There are other people like Luxardo has some sort of a chartreuse stand-in as well now. I haven't seen it in person yet. That is lovely. It's like a wintertime Negroni. Regardless of what Jess is wearing tonight, all native art is exceptional. I agree. Yeah, it's just that Haida art is the pinnacle of art to me. Right? I mean, Group of Seven, love them. Love 6 of them. Emily Carr, a personal hero of mine, right? Rembrandt, love it. I mean, I went to art school, so I got kind of polluted with this stuff, but there's a magic to this that is unique and special. It's not just a representation of the physicality of the animal. You can see the spirit in it, in the shapes. And what is so cool is that, so this was done by computer clearly, right? But, you know, if you're standing there at the Museum of Anthropology, I think is MOA, Museum of Anthropology in Vancouver, it's on the UBC campus, you can see some fundamentally old Haida and other Northwest Coast native art. And the lines are that exact, right? They had these these templates that they would use to create the shapes. And like, it wasn't like uneven because of the brush strokes. No, the shapes are this exact. Okay? Okay? It's just, I don't know. Whenever I look at this kind of art, I don't, I see something mystical in it. And there was absolute mysticism, right? Orca. Very often in an orca, you see like a human form inside, because orcas were believed to be their, your dead ancestors coming back to see you. It's all there in the art. It's just right there. And in a purer way than in Christian allegorical art from medieval or Renaissance times. This is not an art history or art appreciation live stream, so we're going to move on, but I will bore you to tears if you guys will let me, for sure. Marcus says, burning tire is what I always wanted in my boots to taste like. Yeah, it's not, I mean, it's a light element of that, specifically in Leche. It's like one of their, it's a character thing for that whiskey. Can't watch people use those things. Oh, the mandolins? Yeah, anyway, yeah. Chrissy had to take her dad to urgent care because he did the same thing. Yep. Absolutely. Mandolin is a weapon, not a kitchen tool, says Exclude. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way right now. Absolutely. It's not a safe thing at all. The trumpet section is the bane of the trombone section. No, Tori says, tastes like middle school regrets. $500 for an ambulance. Where is it $500 for an ambulance? Scott, are you in Canada? I mean, I've had to pay for a lot of ambulances because our squeakling was allergic to eggs and milk, which affects a lot of stuff, but I never had to pay more than like 160. Like when we started paying for them, it was like 120. Luckily, people have extended health for the cost of an ambulance. Well, yeah, that's true. That's very true. If it's not good, don't blame me, says Paul, but it is good. It's delish. Wouldn't Christy is asking if that would go in a Nick and Nora glass. That would fit in a Nick and Nora glass. Paul, you're up. I've always done a Sazerac, as well. So I have a special Sazerac glass. I've always done one of these in like a rocks glass. Should they be being done in like a coupe or a Nick and Nora, or are they actually done in a rocks glass? Like, I don't know why, but I've always done it in a rocks glass with a big lump in there. But, Christy, you're right. 1, 1, and 1 is 3. That will absolutely it'll fit beautifully in my Nick and Nora's because they're 3-ounce glasses. Can you drink peated scotch on its own, or does it need a friend or two to make it palatable? Well, okay, so putting this bottle in a cocktail, if like there was any whiskey group that I know of on this call, they would be pounding their keyboards. How dare you? How can you do that to that great bottle? You can't put that in a cocktail. But it was a peated scotch, and I knew that Paul would appreciate what I just did. But yeah, this, I mean, that's what a Glencairn is for, right? I used 2 Glencairns last night, right? So the way I usually drink something like this, I'm going to pour a light dram of this because I'm doing a live stream, and I believe this is like 58.0. So let's not get right-faced. Just a wee one like that. So here's how I spend time with a bottle of this caliber, right? I pour it. Now, so this is a 10-year. So when I first opened it, I left the glass for 10 minutes. Even tonight, I would leave it for a while. But once the bottle's been open for a while, and that bottle's been open for months now, so I'll take it. For me, the nose is part of the experience, right? This isn't before what I'm doing right now is not before I enjoy my drive, it's part of it, right? Because what you're doing is you're priming your senses for this to hit your tongue, right? I'm getting salt water. I'm getting like a sea buckthorn or something, you know, or what's that grass that grows on rocky shores? Maybe a touch of like kelp. Something slightly rubbery. There's fire. Wet ash. There was a fire yesterday. Now there's wet ash. But that way, down the beach, someone has a fire going right now and the smoke is wafting this way. So it's not overpowering, but yeah, somebody's got a fire around here. But it's a peat fire. It's not like a maple fire or something like that, or a cedar fire or anything like that. But it's a damp day. It's a cloudy day. It's not a sunny day. You're on the seashore, a rocky seashore. It's probably about 17 degrees. Like, a lot of you know that I am neurodivergent as fuck. So these are scenes, right? I see them, right? I feel the wind. Like, it's a real, like, it puts me in a place. Every time I do this, it puts me in a place. And sometimes it puts me in a library with like a leather chair and like pine saw or something, you know, polished wood. Sometimes it's a meadow with heather, whatever. So then I'm primed for drying. There's an acrid smoke thing that hits immediately. Then it rolls back to an ashy note. A little further back, there's some oak, and then something malty, something baked. But then it's gone. And then there's like an ember, a burning ember. But above that, there's a very, very light lemon drop. Hit of vanilla. And as it trails off, it stays spicy and sparkling on the tongue, but at the back, it goes more into like a butterscotch or vanilla, but it's really mild, and then it's gone. If you're just looking to relax with a whiskey, though, I mean, you can still pour something like this. You can pour this on a rock in a rocks glass and just sit there and enjoy it, right? Like what I just did is a lot more work than you would do if you're just like, you know what, it's been a long day, I just want to relax with a drink. Pour whatever whiskey over a rock and you're fine. I have one over there that is an absolute winner as a nightcap whiskey. Give me a second, I'm gonna go get it. It's a late night. If you're me, you've just gotten back from playing at Hurley's. Paul, you know where Hurley's is. That's where we met. You're back from playing at Hurley's. It's like 3 in the morning. You just got in and it's like, I am exhausted, but I'm too wired to go to bed. Because I can't just go to bed when I get home from a gig, right? This is a blend, okay? And in fact, because of the rules of Japanese whiskey, this cannot brand itself as Japanese whiskey. But it's one of the most beautifully low effort whiskeys I have ever bought. I've told you guys on my Dribs and Drams channel, if any of my OGs are here, that they're almost all in Europe, so maybe you're not. It'd be early morning. This is the one I bring out at a party. If I say, hey, do you like whiskey? And they're like, I have no idea. I'm like, I got you, buddy. I got you. Nobody hates this. Nobody even dislikes this. It's beautifully friendly. There's 100 different whiskeys blended into this. Some blends are like 2 or 3 whiskeys, right? This is 100. It's very recognizably Japanese. It's very engineered. This is not an integrity bottling, right? Non-chill filtered, no caramel coloring. This is engineered to the nines. And I generally don't like whiskeys that are caramel colored and chill filtered, but in the glass, in the nose, on the tongue, beautiful. Not beautiful in the same way as one of these high dollar bottles. This is a high dollar bottle if you think about it, but because this is only a 500 ml, it's like $68 in Quebec. In the States, because you guys don't put up with anything under 750 mils, they have a longer version of this. Because this is 500. There's a 750 available in the United States. The bottle looks stupid, but a 750 is more like a $99 bottle, right? Canadian in Quebec. This is a great nightcap whiskey because it's a cozy experience. At 3 in the morning, I don't need to be challenged. At 9 at night, I want to be challenged, but at 3 in the morning, I want a relaxing whiskey, do my journaling, go to bed. So this Barrel at Sea is not necessarily a 3 a.m. whiskey, unless our OG fiddler was playing that gig with us, because then he's staying at my place, and he and I are both very into whiskey. Right? Because so we'll sit there and we'll do this and sip. And do you get like, is that cardamom? No, man, it's marzipan. Oh yeah, marzipan. Anyway. I'm getting really sad when that bottle's gone. Let me cleanse my palate with a little tea. Just gonna take another little sip of this. This one I'm not pouring down the sink for sure. Yeah. Can you drink peated scotch on this one? Yeah, absolutely, Destiny. And the thing is, okay, not everyone. I do kind of think you have to work up to it. I do think you have to develop your palate to work up to it, though. You know, like a lot of people start with like Crown Royal on ice, and that's a good place to start if you don't know if you're gonna dive into the whiskey journey. Paul, you actually haven't tried it. You haven't tried this? Interesting. For what it costs, just, I mean, pick up a bottle, even just to share with people when they come over. Group of 7, loved them. Loved 6 of them. Russell. I think I said that, didn't I? Yeah. Which group of 1 do you dislike? Can you have a group of 1 with only 1, says David the Instigator. I don't know what you're talking about. Russell, solid question, right? Russell's asking if Dave the Instigator is shotgun Dave tonight. Shotgun Dave is retired for now. Fair enough. Okay, Scott is in Midwest USA. Okay, I have no idea what stuff costs, like in terms of ambulances and medical down there. Excuse Me says, Christmas bourbon drinks, cranberry bourbon cocktail consisting of bourbon, whiskey, sweet vermouth, orange juice, 100% unsweetened cranberry juice, simple syrup. Voila. Let me read you a recipe that I'm gonna try for tomorrow. Now, as you know, I A, can't buy American booze in Quebec right now, and B, wouldn't right now at any rate. Maple cranberry bourbon punch, okay? 1.5 cups of bourbon, a cup of cranberry juice, like 100%, not that caramel, not that cranberry punch cocktail stuff. Half cup of maple syrup, adjust to taste. 3/4 cup of fresh lemon juice. That's squeezing a lot of lemon, so I didn't do that tonight. Half cup of fresh orange juice, optional, but no. And then 3 or 4 dashes of orange bitters. Like, this is a punch, right? So you put it in a pitcher, and then you pour it into glasses full of ice, and then you top with either ginger beer or club soda. It sounds pretty good to me. It's just, if I make something with 1.5 cups of bourbon tonight on this live stream with no one else around, an hour later, I'll have drunk 1.5 cups of bourbon so I don't waste it. And you garnish with fresh cranberries, orange slices, and rosemary sprigs. Cranberry bourbon cocktail consisting of bourbon whiskey, sweet vermouth, orange juice, 100% unsweetened cranberry juice, and simple syrup. I could try that, actually. Paul has seen it in a rocks glass. Okay, that's good. Excuse me, let me try that. Bourbon, sweet vermouth, orange juice, 100% unsweetened. What are the measurements on that? Please tell me my sweet vermouth is up here. Val, Coterie, Vignoble. Vermouth doux. 16% alcohol, 500 mils. Why do I keep buying this local bourbon? Is it because it's a vermouth? Is it because it's beautifully amazing? It's pretty good, but the reason is because it's small bottles. If there was a vermouth company that sold 375s, I would sell my soul to that company. I would only buy that. I am not buying 750s, no matter how good the vermouth is. And some of those are way better vermouths, but I'm not wasting that much vermouth. Neo Negroni number 2. 1 part vermouth, 1 part gentian. So a gentian liqueur would be like a Campari. 1 part whiskey Speyside. Okay, so this is written in French. Okay, so a Speyside whiskey. I'm not going to use my, let's see, what would I use for that? Servir sur une glace agrémentée d'un zeste de citron. Do they have that in English? They don't have it in English. Anyways, what else? What are the measurements for that? Oh, David's back on the road tomorrow. Paul, I think it is Kalila. I really do think it is. It has 2 reasons. Kalila does independent bottlers. Like, I mean, they are an absolute whore for an independent bottler, right? I've had a bunch of Kalilas, and I've had a bunch of 53s, so I kind of think that that's probably it. I mean, I would look it up, but I'm on my phone right now with you guys. Could do a Discord chat, by the way. How was the smallest leche? I thought it was fabulous. It's a 13 year. Peter, my fiddler, he's had a lot of older leches, right? So he didn't find it quite as good. I think that as the bottle is now open and maybe going to oxidize a bit, it might get a little more to where he'd like it to be, because he sort of felt that the smokiness and the burning rubber and sort of the because it's a sherried cask, but it was aged full on in the sherried cask, right? It didn't say like ex-bourbon and then finished in sherry. It's like a sherry butt. And he felt that they were a little disparate. I sort of picked up on that. I still thought it was a brilliant dram. And now that it's open, I think that might merge or meld a bit better. David is waiting to hear from Peanut Trucker. He may be meeting up in his neck of the woods. That would be cool. Chrissy says, Bermuda grass. Something slightly rubbery. What? Say hi to Chris and Jen for me. Okay, that's... David says to Russell that they can chat next week. Russell says an entire fucking movie came out of those notes, really? I don't remember anything of them. Those are still happening. Usually a move is in 3 acts, but we're in Act 4 right now. But where was the denouement? Just the chat GPT of drink descriptions. Paul's never had the Nicker from the barrel. It's for what it costs, just try it. If you don't like it, I'll buy the rest of the bottle off you, because I think it's a good bar cart staple for anyone who has guests come over, right? So I'll go through it. I mean, and as I said, some nights I just want something that's not going to make me work for it. Paul says, I've heard it's mostly Ben Nevis. That would make sense, because Nika did buy Ben Nevis at one point. I know for a fact that Ben Nevis is in there. I don't know what the percentage is. Paul, you're a fucking genius. This is great. This is finished. Man. Paul, you sly son of a gun, you, as my grandpa used to say. That bottle looks like a medicinal bottle from the Victorian apothecary. It's classically simple. So, Destiny, are you talking about this bottle? Is that the one you're talking about? My favorite bottle for exactly what you're talking about, just let me get it. Oh, fucking love this bottle. Please tell me it's down here. It's down here. People. Not only is this my absolute favorite Amaro, because it's so freaking good, but look at this bottle. Look at that label design. Amaro Nonino came out in, what was it, 94? 92? It was later than that. Mid-90s, okay? But tell me that label and that bottle shape doesn't say 1926 to you. Look at this. Look at that. This is my favorite alcohol bottle of all time. And that's coming from a guy who owns more than one Aaron whiskey, okay? And that's a gorgeous bottle. Their redesign was one of the best, but look at this. Look at the shape. I could see 100 of these behind the counter in an old school apothecary, right? Herbs, potions, poultices, spells. Maybe not spells, but you know what I'm saying? Like, look at that. The utter beauty of that shape, that simple shape. And then that label. Buying my first bottle of Amaro Nonino was an experience, because it sure as hell ain't the cheapest of the Amari. And I was so glad when I opened it And like the first time I opened it, I will never get that feeling back, right? It's like the first time I saw Star Wars at the age of 5 in 1977. I'm never gonna get that feeling back, but I want that feeling back. Every time I watch Star Wars, I wish I could see that movie for the first time again. This bottle, I wish I could open for the first time again because it was gorgeous. And then I opened it and I was like, it's like Campari, but better. Like all the best parts of Campari, and then it goes further, right? Campari stops at the shoreline. This stuff just keeps on sailing. I have no idea what's in this. Thank God there are no olives in it because I'm still alive. But like, taste it as a digestif, or in fabulous cocktails, and also as the nonino aperitif with 5 ice cubes, a slice of orange, and sparkling wine at pleasure. Oh, and that's just the same thing. But like, it doesn't say it says it's a herb liqueur, but it doesn't say like what's in it except like water, alcohol, sugar, natural flavorings, grape distillate, plant caramel coloring, completely vegetal. But like, I can't. So these are 2 of my absolute favorites because I love this guy too, right? In fact, I have waxed poetic. When I did my first video on this, when I was still doing my videos the old way, I really waxed poetic on everything from the label to the shape of the bottle because I agree. It looks like something you see in an apothecary's store. But the idea behind this bottle design was that it was a little block from a barrel of whiskey. It fits beautifully in the hand. It's fabulous to pour. It's so easy. And that apothecary thing extends to this plain ass little screw top. A lot of Japanese whiskey, no matter how expensive it is, a lot of Japanese whiskey is a screw top. So get over the idea of what a screw top means when you're getting into Japanese whiskey, let me tell you. I like my Japanese whiskey to be more obviously Japanese in that put the Japanese on the top and the English on the bottom. And I don't say that because I want it to be all exotic. I say that because I'm tired of cultures putting the English predominant as a way of international marketing. For me, I don't want you to pander to me. If I buy a Japanese whiskey, I'm acknowledging that it's, okay, so this is not technically a Japanese whiskey because of the Ben Nevis, but if I buy a bottle from a different country, I'm okay with the label being in French or in German or in Swedish. I don't need the brand name to be in English for me. But even saying that, I think it's a beautifully minimalist design. Gorgeous. Like, oh, the design school, me, the one who went to design school, there's almost nothing better than these 2 bottles. That Aaron bottle is pretty friggin' close though. That was really boring. So should we do another drink? I want to try that one that Squeeze Me said. If you blur your eyes a little bit, that apron looks like... I thought that towel had a fox on it at first. Christy, you're crazy. I love it. Christy says, possibly. 53 is Kalila. Okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Sell us the next drink like you're in the 1800s and selling snake oil. We need a drink called denouement, an evening drink that whilst one relaxes by the fire. Fuck, you're so right. Challenge accepted. Not tonight, but challenge accepted. 1.5 bourbon, 1 vermouth, 2 ounces of, I'm guessing that's OJ, 1 ounce cranberry juice, 1/2 ounce simple syrup. Serve on ice, garnish with blah, blah, blah. Let me write that down. Let me write that down. And then we will try it. 1 point, piss on a biscuit. 1.5 bourbon. 1 vermouth. Sweet. 2 ounce OJ. That's a lot of OJ. 1 ounce cranberry juice. ½ ounce simple. Serve on ice. So we're building this in the glass. Let me look at what our ounces are. 1.5, 2.5, 4.5, 5.5. Serve over ice. Okay. So if it weren't serve over ice, I would fill the hell out of my Benedict. I have broken most of my Collins or highballs. I have broken most of my Collins or highballs. But it sounds to me like this goes in here. Hold on one little second. Just one little second here. Doesn't deal well with the dilution, I will say that. Yeah, okay. Okay. I will put some ice in, and then we'll start throwing liquid in here. Maybe I should have bought a bag of ice. Whoa, we're out of ice. Okay. All right. That's going to make the rest of tonight awkward. What the hell? What the hell? What's going on? There we go. Salvaging the ice. For drinks. Future drinks. That's a lot of ice for a 5-ounce drink. Okay. Sip of tea. To clean the palate. Bourbon. Okay. Just kidding. We're not doing real bourbon on my channel. Not for the moment. So this is fabulous. This was a gift from Country Boy, trapped in the city, who I don't believe is with us tonight. No, not a genius. I just saw the recipe on Instagram. Okay. It's a great recipe though. Like, it's so simple and yet so... Oh my God, stay where I put you. Well, actually, I could just put this back here. I don't know why. I don't know why I do that. Whenever I'm doing like dishes and cooking and stuff, I've always got the towel there. I'm like, why? Oh my God, we're down to 9 people from 13. Oh my God, I'm losing my audience. What do I do? What do I do? I must twerk. Fuck, why do I talk? 1.5 of bourbon. That's 1.75. Okay, so I'll just do it 1 and then 0.5. Let's not start with our most expensive thing. 1 of the vermouth. The sweet vermouth. I'm not the biggest fan of vermouth, I will say. I will gladly say. I'm going to have another one of those Negronis later, provided I'm not 3 sheets to the wind. I meant to do that. I was just testing you guys, see if you're paying attention. Oh, Mother Hubbard. Thing is, I'm too old to bend down for that now. Okay, so that's 1. 2 ounces of OJ. Jesus. That's in the other fridge. That's like a pitcher of OJ. Two ounces. I mean, okay. I'm pouring carefully so that I don't make more of a massive mess than I already have. Jeez, that's a lot of OJ. This is like a 70s cocktail. You know, you guys know how so in the cocktail world, cocktails with OJ in them, a lot of people are like, that's not a real cocktail. Like, for some reason, OJ has a bad image, but like, all these 1970s cocktails have OJ in them. 1 ounce of cranberry juice. And then some simple syrup. Where's my simple? There's my simple. Where's my cran? There's my cran. Half ounce of the simple. Homemade, obviously. You can buy a simple if you really want to, but don't. It's so simple to make. Hence the term simple syrup. Courtesy of my little sticker printer, because I'm very classy. Very classy. This is my first simple syrup drink tonight. 1 ounce of the cranberry juice. This is unsweetened, as you guys witnessed earlier when I was like, oh. I do like the way that looks when I drink only mixes like that. I think that's cool. And then 1.5 was it of the whiskey. Here's a 1. There's a 1. Come right on up. And then a 0.5. 1, then a 0.5. So I should have some more ice in there, but I don't give a criznap. Okay, I don't give no shits about that. So, if I were a tarbender, okay, so it would be full with ice, but I would serve it sort of layered like that. And then if I were a drinking person receiving the beverage, the first thing I would do is that. Hilariously, Camille hates grenadine. Ain't making Shirley Temples for that, kid. Okay. Oh, it's got it. Well, okay, it's because of the. So this bourbon is. What does it say? Okay, it's 101 proof or 50.5%. I hate proof, by the way. But I'm looking for the percentages of. It's like 51% corn, I think. Don't care. I'm not going to spend my time worrying about it. But it does have a bourbony element to it. A slightly peanutty thing on the nose from the Tabor corn bourbon. So that's not actually too much orange juice. I thought this was going to be like an orange bomb, but it does present slightly more forward than the whiskey, though, which is surprising, considering that that's 50.5% that their whiskey is. What did I show? What is this? I know it's a Woodford, but Distillers Select, 45.2 alcohol by volume. Kentucky Straight Malt Whiskey. Okay, I knew it was not the typical Woodford. So that's a malt whiskey rather than a bourbon, rather than a straight bourbon. Yes, that's all I'm going to show of that. Yeah. Clack. So, okay. Big on citrus, which is nice for anything Christmas related. Oh no, sell you the next drink like you're in the 1800s and selling snake oil. Crumbs, I didn't do that. Okay, I'll do that for this drink here. Or should I do that for, hold on. Oh, David's out. Okay, good night. Good night, David. I sent you a text earlier today, by the way, David. Hold on. Oh my God. I'm just sort of scrolling on back. David says, maybe a drink called Foreshadowing. I will try to remember that. Excuse me if retracted a message. Damn it. Orange juice, yeah. Or better yet, Antagonist. Fitzy says, surprise ending. A drink that confuses the taste buds. I make a lot of drinks that confuse the taste buds. In fact, I stopped designing drinks for a while because I was like, nope. But I'm back on it now. Excuse me says, great minds think alike, but fingers are a completely different story. Fitzy, Antagonist must be a dark brew, both aesthetically and gastronomically. It needs a kickback. It must be good looking as well. So I'll just call it Ray. That guy is challenging to a beta like me, let me tell you. In the future, when you're able to buy some land, what does that property look like? Are you talking to me or are you talking to David? Pam had a Manhattan yesterday. She said it was delicious. It cost 17 USD. Better be delicious. Yeah, I've made a few Manhattans. It's a good drink. Oh, that's Christy's favorite Woodford. Okay, good to know. Destiny says that's a very nice gift from a country. It sure is. It's very good. Wouldn't OJ be the cheapest? Yes. But here's the thing, Christy, and this is key. This is very key. This is important, which is why I say it's key. I've had a few drinks. So I may not be as cut and dried as I am when I'm perfectly sober. That's why you stay at home and make your own drinks. Good night, all. Yeah, right. So David's out. Good luck fapping. I don't know what the fapping is. He says black bourbon whiskey. Yep, that is delicious stuff. No. Yes, I've had a the half-size black bourbon, and yep, I would buy that again in a Montreal minute for sure. Yeah, that's quite nice. So that's nice and kind of a punch kind of way. You know, like when you're at a party, there's a great big bowl of punch, and you know it's boozy. That's what that is. It's like I just took a ladle out of a punch bowl and threw it into a glass. The bourbon is 100% Canadian. Yep, that's true. That's the bourbon I'm buying these days. Canadian bourbon analogs for sure. Yeah, that's pretty good. The black bourbon is by Okanagan Spirits, I think. Um, Bridgeland is in Calgary. In fact, my fiddler lives pretty damn close to Bridgeland Distillery, but I've never gone over there. I'd like to check it out. I'd absolutely like to check it out. So I don't know. Have we made enough drinks? Is it time for bed? Shall we finish with you want to finish off with like a super simple nightcap, like an old fashioned or something? Just at some point in the future, when you're able to buy some land, what does that land look like? Oh, that was to me. I would like it to be on water, on either a lake or a river. I have canoed on rivers, on lakes. I've only canoed on one river, and it was back when I was in the Royal Canadian Air Cadets. So a lake feels safer to me in terms of paddling. I would love it to be surrounded by things like balsams, right? I love the smell of a balsam for a forest, or I like the evergreens much more than I like the broadleafs. But if there was a stand of aspens nearby, I would spend all of early fall sitting in that golden light. For sure. It's not too rocky. We're not talking Canadian Shield here because I want to be able to dig a well. Like if I decide that I want to build on it rather than just pitching a tent. Because right now I would just pitch a tent. Or pitch a lean-to. Or like, you know. Because right now what I would do is bushcraft videos and stuff, right? I'd spend a day shooting bushcraft videos and then I'd spend a day just loving life. And then I'd come home. Or I'd use it as a jumping off point for like a 5-day canoe trip. And part of me definitely thinks like next to a big lake. Not a great lake, but a big honking lake would probably be more ideal for me than a river. But maybe a river is better because then I have no choice but to increase my skills, right? Yeah. A conifer forest. I would want to build. I'd want to build a cabin with a wraparound deck. Like, I know that I dream about a log cabin, but if it's a choice between, like, no cabin or a not log cabin, it's no choice at all. Take whatever fucking cabin you can build. It would have some, there would be trees not crowding the house, but fairly nearby, but there would still be just enough room, maybe on, if I put them on the roof, like most people do, for like, say, solar panels to get most of a day of light, so that I'm not connected to the outside world. I would still have some sort of a wind thing on there as well. As far as layout, I don't know. I was enchanted by Sean James's cabin build, but I don't know if I would build the same way. I don't know. Well, you still have some drink there to drink. That's true. We need more cabin reviews with bourbon. That's what we should do one night. Russell and I just get absolutely smashed and review cabins online. When you go to the property on your first weekend overnighter, what's your plan? Okay, so before my first weekend overnighter, I have gone to scout the land. Okay, I have gone week before, 2 weeks before, month before, whatever. Like not 6 months before. Short. To get a lay of the land, find an ideal place to set up camp. It would be amazing if it was on like a little hillock or something, so that if there's a crazy storm at night, I don't get flooded, right? It's near a water source. And I'm probably just pitching a hammock. Maybe a hammock or a tent. Super low impact my first night there. My first weekend there. Because I don't know if that's where I'm going to be staying every time yet. Right? I would eventually want like at least a semi-permanent shelter along the lines of like some of the stuff that Joe Robinette has built, right? But for the first time there, I'm just gonna have like a camping hammock or maybe a little tent, maybe my little hubba hubba, or you know, I mean, if it's in cool weather, if I've bought the land, I can afford to buy the hot tent and the stove, right? Then I've got my little Esker 10 by 10 Classic 2 for sure, with whatever stove fits in there. I remember last time we talked about this, Christy showed me some great stoves, and then like the conversation kind of just took off. But it's got to be something that fits with that tent, you know. I think Esker makes two models of stuff that go directly into that tent. Squeeze says Christmas old fashioned drinks, Jess. And Chris, no, that was excuse me. Then Christy says to Russell, you know how to get him talking. Yeah, that's true. Like, do I want it to be here in Quebec? I don't know. Maybe it's in Ontario. For me, my favorite stomping grounds, nature-wise, have always been British Columbia. But I don't know. There's beautiful spots in this province. There are gorgeous spots in Ontario. Even Manitoba's got some crazy cool spots. Alberta, Saskatchewan has wheat. You know, like, so like, it's not like I'm, you know, I might be in a different province within a couple of years or anything like that, you know? So like, but I'm just saying, like, I don't quite know where it would be. I love the idea of seeing the Rockies from my cabin. But that's only one factor, and it can't be a deciding factor for sure. Something works with a lot of tents. It looks like that says Pomoli? What? What works with a lot of tents? Let me move this aside so I don't. Pomoli works with a lot of tents. Okay. Christy says. Yeah, BC rocks, absolutely. I have never not said that. Greg and Katie have some beautiful property in BC, even though it is fire burnt. A lot of BC is fire burnt, for sure. I know nobody likes to talk about the same stuff. I like to talk about, for sure. Yeah. Oh, a Pomoli stove with the glass windows. Okay. Those, man, those were pretty. Those are a lot more expensive though. But yeah, those were cool. What would go into a Christmas old fashioned? To me, I'm a classicist. Is Paul still here? To me, I'm a classicist, so an old fashioned starts with a sugar cube and bitters. Christmas old fashioned. A Christmas old fashioned. I know what the garnish is going to be. I don't have any mint. I don't have any peppermint. I have a peppermint tea, but like I'm not going to whip up a peppermint simple syrup right now for sure. What would go into a Christmassy? It's going to be citrus. I'm saying citrus because... do you know what I'm saying? No, seriously. In my stockings, there has always been clementines in my Christmas stocking. So I've come to associate like an orangey, clementine flavor with Christmas for sure. Like a walnut bitters to reflect the nutcracker maybe. Let me go get that. I know I've got walnut bitters somewhere. He said checking to make sure he didn't bring them here. This may be British, but a chocolate orange. A chocolate orange. Not that coffee liqueur. Chocolate orange. Because of my classicist, I build my old fashioned in the glass. I start with an ice cube. It's not what I meant to say. A sugar cube. Muddle that with some bitters. Christmas flavors. I wish I had like something peppermint aside from that candy cane. Okay, hold on. Christmas old fashioned. Maybe a pine bitter. So they make that? I'm sure they do. Paul is still here. Okay. So hold on. You need to decide between log cabin and stick frame. Look, if I'm allowed to live my dream, it's going to be a log cabin. Period. For sure. But if I'm trying to think of like, okay, I got to build this thing, stick frame might be a little easier because I'm getting older and my knees are gone. Must be tons of places in Quebec to own property on water. Yeah, but they're all really fucking, excuse me, they're all crispy ground sugar, cumin, bitters, absolutely. Pine bitters, I could probably make that. Or do you want to go the cinnamon apple way? I have an apple brandy. I just don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, people. Okay. Cinnamon, apple brandy, whiskey. There's a sugar cube in there. I'm going to add black walnut bitters. I'm not adding the Angostura and orange would probably still go well, though. Hold on. What if I do 2 of each? 2 black walnut. Two orange. Is this going to be too many bitters? Then do I need the Angostura aromatic bitters? Do I need that? or cocoa. Stop. Okay. Hold on. Let me smell as I go. Now, normally I would be muddling that, but it has completely dissolved. Okay. Boom. All right. Apple liqueur. Definitely going to try that. Last of my big guys, but I want to temper this while I'm working. Temper. That's my last of my big ice cubes. So this is probably our last drink of the night. Full ounce of my apple brandy, I guess. Chocolate Fireball. I don't have any Fireball. XQZU, Jess. I don't know what that means. Excuse you, Jess. Okay, perfect. Man, that took me a minute, mister. I don't think you have any more ice. No. Christmas got the chocolate and candy cane. It's got to be chocolate and candy cane. Let me just think for a second. You're right. Chocolate, candy cane. Like, I don't want to put too much in here. Let's try an ounce of chocolate, an ounce of bourbon. If I just drop this in, do you think that would affect the taste at all? Like, rather than just sort of, because I was just going to put it on the edge as a garnish, but like, if I throw these elements together and I just throw this right in, what do you guys think? I mean, if it was something hot, oh, it's broken, so fuck it, I'm throwing it in. Like if it was hot, yep. Mind on the business. Okay, let's not do the apple right now because I don't have any cinnamon to go with it. Like, I have made like an apple cinnamon simple syrup before, which is delish, by the way. So we're gonna put like, is this gonna be a full ounce of the chocolate? Of the crème de cacao? Or is that gonna be a half ounce? Like a half ounce of this to like an ounce and a half of the bourbon, maybe? Or an ounce of this. It's gonna be chocolatey. There's an ounce. Then I put my ice cube in. Work with me, bottle. I don't know if this is going to work. This might be a very expensive mistake. So what's in there right now? Demerara sugar, walnut bitters, cocoa bitters, crème de cacao. If I use up some of my remaining precious Tabor corn whiskey bourbon and it sucks, I'm gonna be highly evil about it. 1.5, right? That's a lot. And then like a little pepperminty, like, because it's not hot. I'm not expecting the peppermint, like, I mean temperature wise, I'm not expecting the peppermint to really come through. Destiny, what are the measurements I just gave? I'm asking you because you take notes about everything. Tell me what recipe I just created, just in case this is really good. There's an ounce of creme de cacao, 1 sugar cube, 2 dashes of cocoa bitters, 2 dashes of walnut bitters. No, stop. 2 dashes of walnut and was it 2 orange bitters? 2 dashes of orange bitters. Ounce of creme de cacao. Ounce and a half of bourbon. Chocolatey. The bourbon is there, but the chocolate really holds the show, even though it's a smaller chunk. Would I go to 3/4? Yeah. The peppermint's not big enough. If the peppermint came through big enough, this would be the most Christmassy of all. Not like it tastes like Christmas cake, but it's sweet, but it's dark. It tastes really dark. It tastes as dark as it looks. It tastes as dark as my soul. I need the peppermint to be bigger though. Is there like a peppermint drops you can add into a cocktail or something like that? Or you can add into baking? Because I mean, baking drops I could use as well, right? Or do I just hang the cane on the end and the peppermint enters your nose as you bring it up to take a sip? That's the way the orange twist or the lemon twist works, right? Rim, stem, and like as you bring it to your nose, that's where the citrus hits your schnoz before you taste, and it brings a citrusness. You know what I'm saying? As the person drinks. So would the candy cane be better sitting on the rim like that next to the person's nose as they take a sip? How do you drink this? What? Like this is chocolatey, it's desserty. If I could pull that peppermint out. If I could just pull that peppermint out. Like if I could make some peppermint tea. Leave it in the fridge for next time I'm making this cocktail. Cut everything down by half, and then add like a ½ ounce of the peppermint tea cold, right? I'm gonna let it chill first. Would something like that work? I would like to think it works. I love peppermint as a flavor. Interesting. That's our last cocktail of the night, though, because I'm out of ice. And I've really got to clean this most epic mess. Hold on. Christmas has gifts. No, Christmas has got to be chocolate and candy cane. Yeah, you're right. I don't think I have any more ice. No, I don't. That was the last one. Excuse you, Jess. Russell's Fireball is what you need, but not a big fan of the Fireball. Piss on a biscuit. Come on, work with me here, phone. Bitters. Bitters. Like my soul. Christy says to Destiny, I hope you're writing this down because he will not remember. You're absolutely right. No, make this the first and then do a chocolate one. I think the Grinch. I have a cocktail recipe here specifically called the Grinch, but it calls for Midori and I don't have it. Destiny just came in from the laundry room. Too sweet. It's sweet, for sure. Peppermint schnapps. Goldschlager for the cinnamon. Right, actually. Chocolate peppermint isn't a thing. If chocolate peppermint isn't a thing, then what is life? I agree. I think chocolate peppermint is absolutely a thing. I was about to go looking for Goldschlager, but I know I don't have any. That's weird. All right, I'm gonna shut her down, and I'm gonna go and stop yawning, and I'm gonna go and, well, clean all this crap up. For sure. For sure. And then I'm gonna go to sleep. Gotta be up in the morning. Got a plan for that party I'm bartending at. If chocolate pepperoni isn't a thing, then what is life? Okay, right? Night all, and pea soup, says CQ. Okay, night everyone. I poured Steve into a bed a while ago. Thanks for live, Jess, says Destiny. You're welcome. Let's do it again sometimes. I realized belatedly that I had again put this on my whiskey channel instead of doing like a members only for my bushcraft. But I mean, it worked out fine because I had some extra, some viewers who I wouldn't have had if I'd done it the other way. Thanks for live. Good luck either way. The car tanking, Jess. Oh, the bar tending, right. All right, good night, people. Thanks massively for hanging with me. That warms the cockles in my little heart. We're not going to have that conversation again, but it does warm the heart to see you guys showing up whenever I do a live stream. Makes me understand that people are actually listening to the crap I'm putting out there. Remember, coagulant sponge or powder in your kitchen, for God's sakes. And with that, everybody, until next time, please be safe, be healthy, be sane, and be kind to one another. Good night, all.